Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, this lesson is going to be dealing with the fact that there's two sides to this system, but the two sides are playing for the same team. Okay, the two sides I'm talking about is the Democratic type party and the conservative type party, which in America would be known as the Republicans. Okay, so the Republicans are more for, family values, dealing with the old way, so on and so forth, closer to a scriptural way. Okay. That's what they kind of represent in this society, which they are not. They really, anyone who believes in this system is serving Satan, okay, whether they know it or not. But then you come to the left hand side. That's why they're known as the left. That's not by coincidence, right? The left represents what? The side of Satan. Okay, they're going deep into all manner of lewdness, confusion, transformers, changing the meaning of a woman and man, and walking around the street naked. They represent everything that is against the scriptures, that is against the old way, going into a newer Babylonian way of life, which is really not new. Okay, it's really an old way. They're just, America is like a culmination of all these different idol worship, all this different idol worship. Okay, that's what America is. All right. Give me 1 second. Salakia, give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So, So, I have this video here I want to play. And this video is showing you that Donald Trump is on the same side as Biden. Okay, this is a whole act. The system, they're acting like they're not with one another when they're working for the same team. Okay, give me a second. Let's get Revelations 13. And I'll start at verse 11. And it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Now, this beast is speaking about this present day Roman system. Okay, the revival of the Roman system. Okay, now the two horns represent the Republican and the Democratic system, or the liberal/conservative parties. Okay, but it's on the same beast. It's on the same beast who's coming as a lamb, meaning he's coming like he's for the people. He's for rights. He's for the growth of the regular, the average folk, when they're working for the same entities, which are working through Satan. Okay? See? So he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay? Meaning what? The legislations they pass, the things they say. You have to dissect what they say. They say it in a soft way. They use these particular words. They make it sound like they're for you. Yeah, we're going to have to suspend the Constitution to make sure we keep you safe from these, these people who, whatever, these people who are infected or whatever. Okay, they're coming as a lamb, but the things that they're saying is the words of a dragon. Now, when you look up Draco, or the that's where you get the draconian measures from. Let's look up Draco and what he was all about, which he was a damn Edomite. Just like the people who run the society today, they're nothing but Edomites. Okay. So it should go into Draco as well. Okay, draconian means hard, excessively harsh and severe, but it goes into Draco. Okay, of Draco, or to no. Give me a second. Right, there we go. Perfect. It's going into it here. Okay, draconian is an adjective meaning of great severity that derives from Draco. It really goes into a dragon. The word Draco means dragon because a dragon is known to be severe or cruel, okay, without mercy. An Athenian law scribe under whom small offenses had heavy punishments, mainly death. You stole something, you get put to death. You know, you injure somebody by accident, you get put to death. This is how this devil was operating in Greece. Okay, that's where they got draconian measures from, and this is what Esau is getting ready to implement again in this present system. But he's bringing it to you like it's a natural occurrence, like, oh, we had to put these measures in place to save you from terrorists, that all these attacks that are happening. Whatever he does, he's going to try to paint it as if it is to help you. Both sides are playing the same game. Donald Trump is acting like he's trying to make America great again. All right, which the question is for you Israelites, when was America great for you? America might have been great for these damn devils, but when was America great for you Israelites? When you were in slavery? Anyways, let's play this video.
And during his campaign, Newt Gingrich said on Fox News that the elite do not want Donald Trump because he's not part of the club and has not gone through the initiation rites. He doesn't belong to the secret society. Newt Gingrich said that on Fox News, but does that make it true?
That's complete BS. If you know anything, if you have two brain cells to wipe together, you'll know that the president is not. You can't just end up being the president by accident. You can't just work your way, use hard work, and all of a sudden become the president. No, the presidents are groomed and selected from young to be in that position. Okay, they're not just random people that work their way to the top. Okay, they're bought and paid for. Okay, and what they didn't tell you in this particular segment is that Donald Trump, he was taken out of debt by, guess who? The Bilderberg Group. That's who took him out of debt. So guess what? The scripture says the servant is subject to the lender, right? Meaning his interest is their interest. That's why, how you know these people sold out, they'll never speak against the state of Israel, ever. Nothing but praises. No matter what madness they do, it's just nothing but praises for them. Why? Because the ones that control them, that's their people. Let's go.
Gingrich is a 33-degree Mason, and Freemasons are encouraged to lie when it comes to their rhetoric. And Albert Pike, the cleric of Freemasonry, admitted this in his book, Morals and Dogma. Masonry, like all religions, all the mysteries, Hermeticism, and alchemy, conceals its secrets from all except the adepts and sages, or the elect, and uses false explanations and misinterpretations of its symbols to mislead those who deserve only to be misled.
You see, so they have an elect on the left-hand side, those that are in the know. Okay? See, we have an elect on the right-hand side through Yahweh Shai, but they have an elect on the left-hand side. You see, the left hand mimics the right hand. Okay? And those will be known as the illuminated one. That's why the illuminated ones. And that's why when you read Isaiah the 14th chapter, let's get Isaiah 14. This is Isaiah 14. Oh, Salakia. It's Isaiah 14 and verse 12, Isaiah 14 and 12. It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?" Meaning, how have you fallen from a state of rulership, O enlightened ones? Because Lucifer means what? Light bearer. It doesn't mean it's not speaking of the spiritual demon Satan himself. That's not a name for Satan, because the true enlightened ones is who? The elect on the right hand side. Yahweh Shai, the Lord, and the elect. Those are the true enlightened ones. But they're also known as the enlightened ones in this particular on the left-hand side in this world. Okay? He says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, O enlightened ones, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Because they went around sucking out the natural resources from these different nations and, setting up puppet leaders. And that's what turned them into third world countries. Anytime someone doesn't play ball, they punish them. Okay? This is where Russia is stepping in now, because the Lord set them up to make war against her. Okay? It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, which are the Israelites. Right? I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, which represent the Israelites. You know, the stars of the Most High can also represent the stars, because he went up into outer space. And the Lord said from time he did that, that's when he would bring them down. That was about 1969. Okay? We know the congregation. What's another word for congregation? Church. Okay? I will sit also upon the mount of the church in the sides of the north, in North America. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, right? Going up to outer space and so on and so forth. I will be like the Most High. And this is what Esau's trying to do. He's trying to be like the Most High. That's why the left hand mimics the right hand. That's why he mentioned what? The elect. Okay? Let's go.
To conceal the truth, which it calls light, from them, and to draw them away from it. Truth is not for those who are unworthy or unable to receive it, or would pervert it. And he said that in his book, Morals and Dogma.
Right, because who's going to pervert it? The whistleblowers. So they're like those that fell out of the truth. That's what it would be for them. The whistleblowers are like those that fell out the truth. Just like in this truth, right? The real truth, we have people that fall out. We have people that let go of their cross. They turn back into the world. Well, those ones that so-called are whistleblowers and found some other way of life, they have turned away from this particular agenda. Okay?
So by his own words, Freemasons purposely hide, they purposely deceive, they purposely lie, they purposely misdirect.
Let's move forward.
That would mean that in order to survive as a follower of Jesus, you look at the hand gesture, it appears to...
Yeah, let's deal with the hand gesture.
So now let's look at Exhibit A. Donald Trump has an odd way of posing and sitting. He seems to favor putting his thumb and fingertips together and pointing his hand downwards. And as we look at the hand gesture, it appears to be making an inverted pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
He's always doing this.
The Vesica Pisces.
The question is why. And of course, to show intellectual honesty, we must also include
that's a perfect Vesica Pisces. He's doing it perfectly too.
Perhaps his fingertips are normally attracted to each other, and he can't help it. If that's the case, it's a subconscious thing, maybe. Or is it deliberate? It is one of the Freemasonry signs. And as we look at the images,
the Vesica Pisces.
They look deliberate.
Yep. Yeah. It's the Vesica Pisces. This is a sign which represents the female genitalia, right? It goes back to idol worship, which is a sign that he is juiced in. Okay, he's not like that clown. What's that guy? That actor's name? Jim Caviezel said, "Oh, I believe Donald Trump is God set him up." Shut up, man. He's a flipping actor, man. This is Proverbs 6:12. It says, "A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers." Right? These different signs and signals. This deception. Forwardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. Okay, and Esau, by setting up this right-left paradigm, this Democratic Republican Party nonsense, and giving you things to, and they give you people your talking points. Now everyone's trying to buying a shirt or putting in their description box the mugshot of Trump. They set that stupidity up. It's just all stupidity. And then the Republicans, they find certain things to get flustered about as well, and they tell them what to get flustered about. Okay, they put out all manner of false, which we know a lot of them sea theories are true, but a lot of the sea theories they throw out there are false. You know, telling you that the lasers, they didn't hit nothing blue. Nothing blue was targeted. You see, they put that type of stuff out there so that these people can jump on it, and that they can be. But see, these people are nuts. They believe this, and that, and the third, and they'll even put it in The Simpsons and these different things because they know people are trusting that. Listen, there's deception within their deception. Let's pass this part. Okay, we're past that. We're past that. We get it. You know, he's putting out them symbols. Let's go.
Many entertainers have done this. Politicians have done this. This is what Bohemian Grove is all about. They do this for power. In order to gain their power, he's doing it in plain sight.
Next.
What did it mean?
Let's go home.
Right here we see President didn't really pursue it. The odd campaign button.
Let's go there.
When he was campaigning, some of his staff members wore a lapel pin that was very strange looking because it was an inverted pyramid with the colors purple and gold. At the time, members of the press wondered about it, but they didn't really pursue it. And as a result, the story didn't really get that much traction. But the question needs to be asked, why? Why did their staff members wear such an odd-looking campaign button? And what did it mean? Right here we see President Communications Director, Press Secretary Sean Spicer also wore it. And then we also see Mr. Corey right here who wore it. He was Trump's campaign manager. Well, that was until he got fired, but he also wore it. So as the press was wondering about it, eventually the Trump team came up with a story, and the Secret Service provided that story, or at least they were the excuse. What they said was these pins were just to help them identify the members of the Trump team so that they could know them from the crowd. Now that may sound good.
And what group do you know that has that purple and gold? You know, just throwing that out there. I'm not making any assumptions. Just throwing that out there. You know, we got you know, these people, they don't, these certain groups, they don't, you know, they have been caught doing very suspicious poses, wearing particular aprons, doing marches with Masons, behind Masons. Okay, I'm speaking of the IUIC. They're doing a march, and then the purple, and then behind them or before them, the Masons were doing a march in the line as well. That's some suspicious stuff. Okay, they did a particular pose when they were standing like in a pyramid form, just like this thing. There's a particular one of them that was wearing like a particular apron that was like a Masonic apron, or a few of them were wearing it. So, bro, listen, we cannot be ignorant to Satan's devices, man. And we know that there's going to be sellouts that proclaim to be part of this truth. And they're going to be exposed, whoever they are. Okay? Or General Yohana, he's the most obvious. But, hey, none of you are hidden from the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So anyways, you see the pin.
But it doesn't really explain why they continued to wear the pins when they were by themselves.
Forward. There we go. Yeah, the IUIC, they were wearing a particular apron that looks just like this one, minus the all CNI and all that. The exact same shape. We've seen that video. Okay. If a brother has the video on that, and you can put it in the description box as well.
Master by honorary placement. And there's been several presidents in the past who have received the honorary placement of Grand Master, including Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, and Gerald Ford. And in this image right here, we can see President Truman in his Grand Master apron. He was awarded the honorary office, and he accepted it.
And we know this Freemasonry, that's just witchcraft. That goes back to witchcraft and idol worship. All manner of wickedness goes on in there, especially when you go, you know, up in the ranks. When you're a low level guy, they don't know what's really going on, like first, third, fourth degree. They don't really know what's going on. But the more you go up, the more you learn, the more you become illuminated. Okay? And you start to learn the meat of this wickedness. All right? So they know what's going on. They're in the know to some degree.
But we're building a case.
Okay, so anyways, we're going to move on to the next part.
Let's continue. And let's find out. Now, officially, Trump Tower has 58 floors. But Donald Trump added an extra 10 floors to the elevator numbers and claims that it has 68 floors. He lives in the top 3 floors in his penthouse, so in the mind of Trump, his penthouse begins on floor 66, which is an interesting number. Now, the purpose of this disclosure is to determine if Donald J. Trump is involved in Freemasonry or some other esoteric dark art or mystical belief. And folks, based on what I'm about to show you, I believe that Trump Tower offers the best evidence. And I'm about to show you why. Now let's look at Trump.
It's some great evidence. It's just some great evidence that he goes into dealing with the tower. Okay?
Tower. From the ground level, most people have not noticed that the tower...
But he takes kind of long to get to it, so I'm going to try to skip through it, man, because he doesn't really... He's playing games. Okay, you can't see anything at the ground level. But when you... Okay, let's come here. Okay, let's go.
Folks, Trump Tower was built to be in a constant state of spiritual invocation. And I know that sounds crazy. I know it does, but over the past few years, we've witnessed pagan rituals that celebrated the underworld. We have seen it in previous Olympic ceremonies where they did rituals. We've seen it in Super Bowl halftime shows. We've seen it during the Grammys. We saw it when the shamans opened the portals and when Anubis was paraded across the country, the jackal god that presides over the city of death.
Yeah, the valley of the shadow of death. That's America. You know, the valley of the shadow of death. Okay, the mistress of witchcraft. See, America is you have to understand that's a place of major witchcraft. You know, that's where all the major witches they moved to America. They didn't move to Africa or New Zealand or South America. They moved to America because that's where they can be most successful. This is Nahum 3 and 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. Okay, who's the harlot that rides the beast? America, a mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms. Right? And a whoredom represents going against the Heavenly Father. And that's what they're doing. And they're pushing it now more than ever. Okay? A good example is that alphabet stuff they keep pushing on the children and pushing it down people's throats. See, at these different banks, they all got the flag on them, the alphabet flag. And that was supposed to be for the month of June, which they said was alphabet month, which is wickedness in itself. But they keep it on year round. They don't have no other flag. No, they don't even have the Canadian flag. They don't even have the Quebec flag. They don't even have the American flags or nothing. They have the flag that they're trying to push, the agenda, okay? And families through her witchcrafts. Okay? Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. Meaning he's going to show the wickedness of them. And I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And this is what's happening, man. Okay? And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. That's why the scriptures say in Obadiah 1, it says that you have become small among the nations, thou art greatly despised. This is what's happening. Okay, the Lord is making them despised through all their wickedness. All their wickedness is going to be uncovered. You know, Anubis. This is. But I thought it was in God we trust. Why you got Anubis floating around and parading? And this is another idol right here. So what's this about? What does this have to do with the Bible? You see, listen. And then you go look to Washington D.C. There's a big owl. You look from the aerial view. It's a big owl. You got the pyramid, and then the White House is there right in the middle of the pyramid as the all-seeing eye. So what's that about?
And now we have a president who is a very unique individual. He's very wealthy, and he lets everybody know that. He loves to parade his wealth in shiny things. He loves to show the display of gold and silver and precious stones. And now he's the most powerful man in the world. Now, folks, he did not get there by accident. I'm not saying it based on just my opinion. I'm basing it on the evidence of Donald Trump that he has revealed himself. Now, when we look at his penthouse, right here we have pictures of his penthouse. His penthouse is decorated with paintings and artwork that pays homage to the deities of ancient mythology. On his ceiling, he has a painting of Apollo on a chariot being led into the sky by Aurora. He also has Apollo on his mantle. Additionally, we can find other carved images in his penthouse. Here's one of the mythological deities Eros and Psyche.
Let's deal with Apollo. Let's look up what Apollo is all about. Let's look up the god Apollo. Really, he's a fake god, but you know what I mean. There's spirits behind these gods. There's particular spirits. Okay, demonic spirits. Let's deal with Gallo. So, okay, Apollo. Excuse me. It says Apollo by name. Phobos, Apollon. Okay, Greco-Roman sounds like Apollyon almost. Okay, Greco-Roman mythology, a deity of manifold function and meaning, one of the most widely revered and influential of all the ancient Greek and Roman gods. Though his original nature is obscure from the time of Homer, Homer was a comedian in the Roman Empire. From the time of Homer onward, he was the god of divine. He was probably most likely a Jake. Okay, he was the god of divine distance, who sent or threatened from afar. The god who made men aware of their own guilt and purified them of it, who presided over religious law and the constitutions of cities, and who communicated with mortals through prophets and oracles his knowledge of the future and the will of his father. So he was kind of revered as somewhat of a prophet, which Donald Trump was doing that a lot, trying to say oh, see, I told you this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen. So they're trying to paint him as some type of prophet as well. Okay. It says, even the gods feared him, and only his father and his mother, Leto, could easily endure his presence. And Donald Trump, he likes to send out threats too. Like when they said, if they do this, it's going to be a lot of trouble. Like they're speaking about the indictment. If you do this, a lot of people are going to rise up, blah, 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 blah. That's what led to the incident in, what was it? It's like September 6th or October 6th, whenever that incident was where they stormed the Capitol building. Because he was sending out threats from a distance. Even the gods feared. I'm just pointing these things out, okay? Could easily, even the gods feared him, and only his father and his mother, Leto, could easily endure his presence. He was also a god of crops and herds, primarily as a divine bulwark against wild animals and disease, as his Greek epithet, Alexikakos, averter of evil, indicates. His forename, Phobos, means bright or pure, and the view became current that he was connected with the sun, so on and so forth. There's a lot of confusion with these gods, but you can see based upon what these gods represent. And there's one that said he represents a destroyer. I believe I've heard that as well. Right, but yeah, man. Okay, if Trump gets back into that office, bro, I'm telling you, you're gonna see what true tyranny is all about. Okay, he's set up for the. Listen, it doesn't make sense. The Apostle Tar said this a while back. It doesn't make sense for the Democrats to do particular things, because he said this in a particular video, because they're supposed to be looked at as the nice guys, right? But it makes sense for the Republicans to set up that order, someone from the Republican Party to set up that so-called order, which is going to lead to the MOTB, because they're more of that, they're on that stern thing, that stern vibration. So that makes sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was put in office to bring in, that martial law and so on and so forth.
Why does Trump have this? Well, some could say it's just decoration. He's into mythology. He likes, but in the Greek tongue, his name is Apollyon, which is another rendition of Apollo.
In ancient Greece, Apollo was known as the god king and the destroyer. Plato wrote in Cratylus that Apollo should be feared and could only be appeased through sacrifices.
Oh yeah, and he's gonna make you fear him if he gets back in office, man. All right, he's gonna show you what's up, and I believe and they're not mentioning him for no reason. They don't just mention people for no reason. Okay, the only reason he's in the news is because they want you to hear about him. They want him to be in the news. They want his name to still be there, a topic of discussion. Why? Well, we'll find out.
In Homer's Iliad, Apollo sends death.
Whether it's him or somebody else anyway, it doesn't really matter. We know that the prophecies are going to come to pass. So Esau is getting ready to set up that draconian system.
Destruction and pestilence to a city for 9 days. Apollo came down furious from the summits of Olympus with his bow and his quiver upon his shoulder, and the arrows rattled on his back with the rage that trembled within him. He sat himself down away from the ships with a face as dark as night, and his silver bow rang death as he shot his arrow in the midst of them. But presently he aimed his shafts at the people themselves, and all day long the pyres of the dead were burning. Ladies and gentlemen, Abaddon the Destroyer is Apollo the Destroyer.
This creature's not human, folks, but they don't see what's going on above them. So now let's look from an aerial view. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the picture.
Boom. You see that? Do you see this? These are obelixes, man. How much obelixes do you see in the shadows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? You understand? And this represents what? A phallic symbol of a male. This goes back to ancient Egypt, showing you we're in Egypt all over again, man. Let's get Revelations. See, these Christians don't know how to break down the scriptures. He's gonna say his madness. He doesn't know what's going on. This is Revelations 11 and verse 8, man. Revelations 11 and 8, it says, "And their dead bodies," speaking of the Israelites, "shall lie in the street of the great city, which is America, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt." Why is it called Sodom? We shouldn't have to tell you that. All manner of freakism and alphabet activities are going on here. And Egypt, okay, where also our Lord was crucified. This is all spiritual. It's not physical. It's all spiritual. Okay. Now let's go back here.
This is Trump Tower before your eyes. The inverted pyramid that represents the female Asherah is built into his building. It's right there. And we also see above the inverted triangle 7 pillars rising, which represents Baal. So we have the female and the male in Trump Tower. There's another image of it. Count the points at the top of the building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 points. And now for the grand finale. Let's zoom in on the inverted pyramid. If you're looking at this image, let's count the trees going across. 1, starting from the left, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see it? 6 on the top. And then when we count down the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the same thing on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What does this mean? It means that Trump's inverted triangle of Asherah that's on his building in the exterior of his home for the last 33 years represents 666.
That's it. All right, that's it. We don't need to play no more. So at the end of the day, these people are all juiced in, and they're all working for the same team. What's that team? The elites of this society. Who are they? Who are they working under? The spiritual demon Satan. Let's get Romans 9 and 24. Not Romans 9. Job 9 and 24. We're gonna end it on that, man. So any of these stupid people, you Israelites or you Edomites, okay, that believe, oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. You're all idiots. Okay, you're on a low level. This is Job 9 and 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? The earth was given into the hands of these wicked elites, and the Lord is going to take the power from them. He's going to come and make war against them and take the power from them. They know that, and they're trying to prepare, which is a futile effort. If any brother has any more information on Trump, put it in the description box. Baba Kusha. I would like to check it out. Okay, which I already know there was something showing that he was bailed out by a Bilderberg group. That shows that who controls this guy. So with that, I'll say shalom.